Hey everyone, let's talk about something that's been flying under the radar but could wreck your financial life in seconds. Imagine this, you get a message that looks exactly like an official EPFO notification, complete with a link that says, "Claim your PF funds now." You click it, enter your UEN, Aadhaar, and OTP, only to realize later that your entire savings have vanished. Sound far-fetched? It's not. And here's the kicker, this isn't just a hypothetical scenario. Cybercriminals are weaponizing the trust people place in government portals, and the EPFO has just dropped a wake-up call. Now, I'm not saying this is a new problem, but the way they're framing it now feels like a direct slap to our collective complacency. Why? Because this isn't just about phishing, it's about the erosion of digital trust in a system we rely on daily. Let's unpack this. The EPFO's recent warning isn't just a public service announcement, it's a desperate plea to people who've grown too comfortable with their online habits. Think about it, how many of us blindly click on links without checking the URL? I've seen friends do it for job portals, tax forms, even bank alerts. And here's what's wild, these scams are getting smarter. They're mimicking official sites so closely that even seasoned users can't spot the difference. One tiny typo in the domain name, a slightly off color in the logo, and suddenly you're handing over your life savings. What makes this really interesting is how it reflects a broader trend. As governments digitize services, they're also creating new attack vectors for fraudsters. It's like building a fortress but leaving the door unlocked because the key looks official. Now, the EPFO's 6 guidelines are straightforward, but they are not just rules, they are survival tactics. For example, rule number 1 says to visit only the official EPFO website. But here's the catch, how do you even know what the official site looks like if you're already being tricked? I've seen people argue that the EPFO should make their website more visually distinct, like adding a unique color scheme or holographic logo. And honestly, I agree. The onus shouldn't be entirely on users to spot fake sites when the real ones could be more secure. But until that happens, we are stuck playing a game of whack-a-mole with phishing attempts. What many people don't realize is that even if you think you're being careful, a single moment of distraction, like checking your phone while multitasking, can be enough for a scammer to pounce. Take rule number 4, verifying URLs. This isn't just about checking the address bar, it's about understanding the psychology of deception. Scammers know that our brains are wired to trust familiar patterns. So they'll use domains like epfo.gov.in, but add a random character or number to trick you. A detail I find fascinating is how often these fake sites mirror the real ones exactly, except for a single M instead of an N in the URL. It's a masterclass in cognitive bias. And here's the thing, even if you're tech-savvy, you can still fall for it. I've seen engineers and coders get duped because they were too focused on the message content to notice the URL. This raises a deeper question, how do we train ourselves to be hypervigilant in a world where every second of our attention is a commodity? Then there's rule number 6. EPFO never asks for OTPs or passwords via calls or messages. This is a critical point, but it's also the most misunderstood. People assume that if a message comes from a number that looks official, it must be legitimate. But what if the number was spoofed? What if the message was crafted by someone who studied your past interactions with the EPFO? This isn't just about security, it's about the power dynamics of digital communication. When a government body starts demanding sensitive information through unverified channels, it's a red flag that should trigger panic, not compliance. If you take a step back and think about it, this is a societal issue. We've normalized giving away our data so freely that we've forgotten the value of guarding it. And that's the real danger here, not the fraud itself, but the mindset that allows it to thrive. So, what's the takeaway? The EPFO's warning is a reminder that in the digital age, Vigilance isn't optional, it's a necessity. But it's also a call to action for organizations to do more than just post guidelines. They need to innovate in ways that make fraud impossible, not just unlikely. Until then, we're all just trying to stay ahead of scammers who are getting better at their craft every day. Personally, I think the solution lies in a combination of education, technology, and cultural change. But for now, double-check those URLs, question every link, and remember, if it feels too good to be true, it probably is. What's your biggest fear when it comes to online security? Drop your thoughts below, because the more we talk about it, the harder it'll be for scammers to win.